Hi everybody. Just want to take this time to explain to you guys kind of what's going on because a few expats reached out to me in the groups and people want a clarification and my take on what's going on right now with the Reforma Fiscal and a few other things that are going on here in the Dominican Republic. So now they did a Reforma Fiscal, which is supposed to be like an updated tax code or whatever, what they want to propose on how to change taxes, but it's not a reform. It's basically just more taxes for everybody and taking away taxes like confiture from the building sector in tourist areas. Now, pretty much everybody's against this. They're against it so badly that yesterday they were in front of the Cámara de Diputados, so they had like an open, like, you know, when people go to speak to the Senate in the United States or to the councilmen and stuff. They went there and people are very, very upset, and rightfully so. I've always said, you know, this is probably one of the most expensive or highly taxed countries in Latin America, which I saw something where it showed like Colombia has a 19% tax. Here we have 18% tax, but their stuff is a lot cheaper. Somebody asked me, Mario, how is that possible? You know, both places, you know, you go to both places and you're like, how does the higher tax place cost less? And I said, maybe it's just, I don't know how they do it, but maybe it's just, it gets taxed way more, because if it's getting taxed 18% coming in, 18% coming out, 18% to the guy who's going to sell it, by the time it gets to the final consumer, if they're like 18% being paid, then that would explain why we're so much more expensive than so many other Latin American countries. So things here, especially after COVID, where things even doubled, a lot of things doubled in price, everything went up 20, 30, 40, 50%, but incomes have not gone up. So if you're not a business person that's able to make more money, and business people are making less money, we've all made less money since the money ran out in June 2022. Across the board, the market here has suffered. The economy has suffered. The economy is not good. And I want you guys to understand, like, I want you guys to understand that I'm not looking at this from like an expat point of view, because you might be like, well, things are cheaper than Canada, cheaper than Toronto, cheaper than LA, cheaper than London. No one cares about that. The people that live here 24/7, the inhabitants of this country, the people that work here, the people that pay taxes here, they don't care about your comparison of where you came from or your pension there or your whatever wealth you've you've have over the years, you've established over your lifetime, and now you're here chilling on vacation, drinking presidentes and saying it's not bad that I'm paying $4 for a presidente, whereas for them it's like it used to be $2, now it's $4. I'm just giving you as an example, right? So basically, this Reforma Fiscal is so bad. Like, it's almost like they dropped a nuclear bomb on the country. People were speaking out yesterday in the Cámara de Diputados, and people basically said, if this doesn't get fixed, and I don't know what fixed means, right? Do they change some of the stuff? Do they completely scrap it? But if it, let's say it passed the way that they put it out, the way the propuesto is to do it, they're basically saying there's going to be blood in the streets. Like, people are going to take to the streets, and it's not going to be pretty. This is not going to be like a peaceful, from what they're saying, multiple people speaking, they're like harto, they're fed up. And, you know, people here, they tolerate a lot. I've seen them tolerate a lot of taxes, you know, from their government. When you have to understand that in this country, the reason why so many people want to leave, it's that it's very difficult to do well and to meet your goals, even if you're doing well. What do you mean? Forget about the minimum income. Let's talk about the medium income, which is like $9,000 and something dollars. You can make 3 times that here, and you can't buy yourself a new apartment in San Isidro, and you can't buy yourself a new Kia Sportage. Basic things. We're not talking about luxury. We're talking about, okay, I need a car, you know, a nice car, not one that falls apart, and I need a nice sencillo apartamento, 7 million de pesos in San Isidro or Charle or something like that in Santo Domingo Este. Your average person here cannot do that, because they just did a feria for cars. I put it up for you guys. You know, oh yeah, 5-year financing, only 13 point something percent. That's basically throwing somebody in the middle of an ocean with a little tube, a little life tube, and saying, well, swim to shore. It's that bad. When you look at home financing here, because most of the home financing are 15 to 20 years max. You know, the rates, again, for Dominicans are 13, 14, 15%. You want to buy a cheap apartment and you want to buy a cheap car, you're going to be paying 2 to 3 times more than whatever anyone is paying anywhere else in the world. And I use that in comparisons to places like the States and Panama, which is why a lot of people want to leave, because they can't get ahead. And now with this new tax reform being dropped on everybody, it's just like, we're going to take that last little cent that you guys have. They want to double the amount of bet there. They want to put taxes on stuff below 200 from Amazon, because why do we buy from Amazon here? Because if you guys know the prices, I mean, I swear by NyQuil, right? Whenever I feel like I'm getting sick a little bit, I take a little bit of NyQuil, and boom, that's it. You know, a double shot of that, and I'm good by the morning. I get 2 bottles of NyQuil on Amazon for $14 and change, $13 and change, depending on what the sale is. I found NyQuil here in Punta Cana in one pharmacy, $30 for the bottle. The taxation in this country has been always so high. This is why cars are anywhere from 20, 30% more to 100%, almost double. I had a BMW, I paid almost double for that car in this country. everything here is so expensive and people have been tolerating it. But the culture here is tolerate, 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 and then just explode. And that's what's going to happen if they get out there. Now, on top of that, you take what's going on with the Haitians. Now they want all the Haitians out. They're deporting all the Haitians. We want 10,000 Haitians a week out. And they've gone heavy raids getting rid of and deporting Haitians. Okay. And then a lot of Haitians left on their own because they were like, oh, we don't want the cops beating us up. We're going to leave willingly. Okay. I have news for you guys. Regardless, I'm not going to get involved in whether the Haitian situation here, that's your country, your problem, you figure it out. But what I can tell you is that the country is being built by Dominicans. It's being built by Haitians. Dominicans are the foremen. The workers are all Haitian. It's a country built by Haitians, the same way in the United States, especially in the South, Mexicans build everything. Here it's the Haitians. So now with this happening, if you are buying an apartment in pre-construction, I'll be 100% honest with you guys so you know exactly what you're in for. The way the situation is right now, I don't know how bad it's going to get or how good it's going to get if they change it. But with the Haitians, what they're doing right now, your project, if they said they were going to give it to you in 2027, 2028, 2029. Everything is delayed. They are reporting stoppages or delays on work in Santiago, the North Coast, here in Punta Cana. I'm going to share a video probably that's going to come out before this from the news showing work sites that are empty. The one thing they fail to understand is that the Haitians are the workforce that do the hard labor that build the Dominican Republic, whether you like it or not. So you want to be an ultranationalist, you want to get rid of them, that's great. But what happens now? Now you don't have the skilled labor force from the Dominicans. And even if they come in and they do it, they're going to charge 3 to 4 times what the Haitians are going to charge. So now the cost of construction is going to go so high that we're already at peak prices, and expats are starting to push back on prices. People are starting to say, whoa, 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 for what the country is and for what it offers, because you can't compare a penthouse here to a penthouse in Medellin that looks like something, Scarface lived in. It's totally two different things. You can't look at the build quality, the economy, the money being made here and compare it to other places. The country's peaking and peaked at its point, especially when it comes to the mid and entry level price points for property. And then expats are getting mortgages more and more now. So here we go. High rates being choked out by people with the high rates, the lower terms. It just makes it impossible. So now you're also going to delay all this construction for the next, I don't know how many years. So that's the storm that we're in right now. What they have to do is, I don't know, but I mean, either kill the entire Reforma Fiscal or make it tax friendly, which I seriously doubt will ever happen. But if it does come out the way it is right now, there's going, just stay in your house because it's not going to be pretty outside. That's what everybody's saying. I've never seen so many people go in front of the Cámara de Diputados and be like, yeah, they, mentioning the word blood in the streets. And it's unfair to the people here. I mean, this country's already been paying the highest taxes in Latin America. It's just the way they do it, because you can't just look at the 18%, but somehow the way they do it, everything here costs so much money. I'll give you guys an example. I go to Panama. Panama on the dollar, I spend less money than I do here. Goods are significantly less. Even cars are significantly less. Brand new Bestun, the dashing is $28,000 in Panama. It's $39,500 here in the Dominican Republic. My friend bought a car in Colombia. That same car in Colombia that he just bought this week that cost $26,000 there. I did the math and I looked on Supercarros here. It would be about $38,000 to $41,000 in this country. So people here have already been, the rock here has already been giving all of the blood that it can give. And now they want to take more blood out of the same rock. And, everybody and everyone as a person, as a country, has a breaking point, right? We all have a breaking point that you wake up one day and you're like, yo, like Roberto Duran, no más. And that's where they've hit right now. They've dropped their, but they don't know ahora. Like, it's that bad of what they propose for the people. It's just, and it's to ruin the real estate economy, the new construction real estate economy, and just make everybody's life harder, but zero benefits. I know some of you expats are like, well, what are the benefits to taxes? I mean, if you live here, you know. It's not like the United States where you live in a nice area, you pay high taxes and you have good schools and good garbage cleanup. There's no direct correlation. We're here in Punta Cana and we pay, those of us that work in real estate, we pay 18%. We pay taxes. There's nothing left for you at the end of the year once you have your car and your apartment and all the whatever. So but they can't even taparon un hoyo en la calle. So they're not, the people here are not seeing that. And understand that what I'm telling you guys is not coming from an expat, here on vacation, here snowbirding. Oh, I go a couple of months, I go back and forth. Wow, so cool, everything's great. Paradise, paradise. No. It's paradise for you when you're an expat. My clients that buy to come here to golf, to chill, to go to the beach, then they go back to the States, they go back to Canada, they'll go to Europe, they'll come back. It's not paradise for people who live, work 24/7 here under the tax system that we have here, and with the increased, I mean, yes, it's increased everywhere in the world, But when you look at the median income of 9,000 and change annually here, and you triple that, and you still can't get a decent, not even luxury, a decent apartment and a decent car, you know, maybe a $30,000 car, you can't get that. Then you have to understand that the system is broken for the people that live here, which is why there's so much hustle, tigueraje. And what happens if things get that bad? We already know when things go bad, crime goes up, and you know, tigueraje goes up. So hopefully they will fix this because they listen to the people, because the people are saying it and they're saying it very, very loud. So hopefully they will listen to them and they will do what they have to do. I mean, the only thing that we can hope for, I think, is that it doesn't pass. I don't see taxes being lowered here. They need the money for many different reasons. They've taken out $1 million and one préstamos here. They just need more and more and more money, which is why this country survives on foreign money. But then if you do something that budges up foreign money, then you're cutting off your own pipeline of what you need. Because I know some like locals or Ausentes might be ultra nationalists. My country, Dominican Republic, does not need anybody. Yes, you need the Haitians to build it, and you need foreign investment and foreigners. You know, I can tell you right now, a couple of foreigners that own real estate businesses that have probably pumped millions of dollars, millions, more than un pueblo, dos pueblos, into the entire economy here, between taxes, between what they spend here. Because you have to understand, when foreigners move to this country and they invest in this country, those that live and work here, they're not sending remesas back to the United States. They're not sending remesas back to Europe. They make their money and they invest it here in the country. They pay taxes here. They buy expensive cars here. Expensive car, everything's expensive here. A Honda Civic is expensive. A Honda CR-V is expensive. You know, $60,000 almost for a Honda CR-V. Nah, that's a luxury car in the United States. So that money gets pumped in here. Also, the giant builders who import, it's going to affect everyone from the top all the way to the bottom if it passes as it is. So I hope that kind of helps you guys understand. That's why there's a very uneasy energy in the streets right now, meaning everywhere, builders, you know, people, even people that work for builders are like, hey man, we're going to be eating rice and eggs next year. You know, so if this does pass, it's going to be, I think, a disaster for the Dominican Republic. So hopefully it won't. Let's see what happens. We'll keep an eye on it. I'll give you guys another update when there's more to talk about. This is your boy, Mario Fama, RD. Es que yo soy blanco, pero no soy banco.